Hey guys, I want to talk about what might be the most powerful move in Taekwondo. You know, we say often that it's the round kick, and I think you can make a good case for it being the round kick. But, you know, I was thinking about that today, and when I hold the shield for somebody, like if I hold that black bag for somebody, there aren't too many people that I don't feel like holding for their round kick. And then they might slam you pretty good, and you know you feel it in your ribs a little, but usually you can take that round kick. But when I think about the people in my training career that I do not want to hold the bag for, it's always for the shuffle side kick. And I think you can make an argument that that is the most powerful technique in Taekwondo, the shuffle side kick. Maybe you know changes from person to person, depends on your skill, obviously. But you know, Grandmaster Sel, who I'd never trained with in his kicking prime, but you'd always hear that he had just a vicious shuffle sidekick, and they called it the people mover, which I always heard that since I was a kid. The people mover, that's kind of an appealing idea. You know, the old karate school had a painted wood floor, and so the story went that he would kick somebody and that they would go flying across part of that floor, and then when they would land and they would slide across the the rest of it. So you know, that's pretty inspiring. I'd like to have a people mover myself, and so I want to work on this. And this video is cool because shuffle sidekick is a move that doesn't really have a place right now in what we're doing in the classroom. You know, when we change and evolve the way we do lesson plan and the different things we're teaching, you know, certain things can once in a while they fall through the cracks a little bit, and then they kind of tend to come back, and you can't teach everything at once, right? But this is something we haven't done a lot of lately, but I want to cover it with you because it potentially is the big power bomb move of all moves, okay? Shuffle sidekick. So here we go. We're going to start in a horse stance. All right, we start in a horse stance. And you have to understand how a shuffle works. It's not a step up. You know, when you were a white belt, you learned to slide up and side kick. And I think some people will try to shuffle and really just end up with a very fast step up, right? And they go step up kick, and they say, okay, that's my shuffle. A shuffle is a different kind of takeoff altogether, and it's still from the horse stance, but what you do is you get loaded up and you push with both legs at the same time, and you actually don't want to let your feet come all the way together. Now they will come closer together, but it's a push with both legs. No dancing a jig before you do it. You just got to go straight from here, and it's boom, exploding to the side, and you see two things. I didn't go high, and also I didn't like do a feet together thing, right? It's both feet pushing at the same time and staying spread. So let's work on just the shuffle. All right, you're here. What I want you to do right now is get in your horse and just shuffle 10 times, and you can kind of get loaded up and explode this way, and then load up and explode back the other way. I got my feet together on that one. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, 10 times. Go ahead. This might be that pause button opportunity to work on your shuffle. All right, you're back. Shuffle looking good. You also need a good side kick. Now here's the thing about side kick that is a little bit like wonky, and explanations like this don't always fit into what we're doing in class, but if I could take kind of a minute to show you something about sidekick. We sometimes, when you throw a regular sidekick, like think about in Form 1 in Discovery, when we all get stacked up and we've got this upright chamber with a vertical shin, and then we roll over and we kick. Well, the rolling over is part of the process of turning your hips and pivoting your standing leg to set up for the side kick. But when you do certain kinds of modifications to the side kick, like when you add a shuffle, when you add a spin, you're actually pre-pivoting your standing leg and pre-rolling your hip. and getting your body in that position makes it so that you don't actually chamber the same way. So like if you were doing a shuffle side kick, you would not end up shuffling and chambering with your knee like this. As soon as you begin to shuffle, you're going to start turning your butt toward your target. And when you chamber, the chamber is going to look like this, right? It's going to be, you're going to go right to that position where you're rolled over and your shin bone is parallel to the ground. If you shuffle and you leave your hips here and you bring your knee like this, there won't really be time to turn it at the end and get that good kick out. So as you shuffle, you kind of turn your butt and you bring your knee in. Get that good push, and knee comes up. Here, push, and knee comes up. So then it's just a matter of stomping with your heel, right? If you set it up right, if you roll those hips as you're going through the air, bringing your knee up, right as you land, you should hit. And what always stuck in my mind as a kid, you just hear this all the time, that your foot hits the target when your other leg hits the ground. Right? So this foot gets up there, this foot hits my target. Let's see if I can do it. We're here and boom. Right? And I could go much farther, obviously. I just don't want to go out of the camera shot, right? Okay? So we're here and shuffle, bang, and kick. Boom. Shuffle, side kick. Okay. Feel like I had another brilliant thing to say about this, but now I'm forgetting what it was. Well, why don't you guys do right now the back and forth shuffle side, get that good loaded up position, squeeze your butt, grab the floor with your toes. It should really feel like a spring that's loaded. Explode, chamber, bam, stomp out. And oh yeah, so what I was gonna say is this: you want your back leg to travel past where your front leg is at the outset. All right, so I'm like this. I don't just want my left foot to replace my right foot. I want my left foot to end up way past where my right foot was, because we're trying to generate as much shift in this direction as possible. And you can't, I don't think, get a good kick like this just by doing it in the air. You really have to get something to hit. I kind of like working out here in my garage and got some workout stuff, but man, I feel the lack of a punching bag right now. Like, I think if you to work on this kind of thing, you really want to have something to hit. You can do it in the air all day long, but if you want the people mover, you got to get that distancing right, where you hit it just right, where you're going fast, but you also have some room once you hit, boom, to penetrate through that thing and to really move it. You should be able to take somebody your size and knock them out of their stance. If they're holding the bag, trying not to move, you should still be able to move them if you know what you're doing with your shuffle sidekick. So guys, go ahead and give that some practice. We'll see you soon.